feel like I need to sneeze. Hey everybody! I know it's been a long time since I've made a video, but today is the day. We're doing eggplant Parmesan, and I'm gonna roast the eggplant. I'm not battering, I'm not frying, any of that junk. So it's like healthy for you. And I'm wearing my hat because it is a beautiful day in my neighborhood, and as soon as I get this in the oven to roast, Mabel and I are gonna go hang out on the deck and do some coloring. Yeah, sounds good, huh? And chewy. I don't have like regular Italian eggplants. I have Asian eggplants. It's gonna work the same. I think probably the biggest difference between these two is Asian eggplants, in my mind, tend not to be as bitter, and the skins don't tend to be as tough, but we'll see. So I'm gonna cut these at an angle, and they're about 1/4 inch thick. That way they're a little bigger. Out of the way, fatso. And then I've put a little bit of olive oil on my cookie sheet here, and I'm just gonna lay these on it. And then we'll drizzle more olive oil on it. Then we're gonna pop it in the oven. So because these are kind of small, it shouldn't take that long to cook. So I'm thinking maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll flip them over so that they brown on both sides. And the nice thing about this is it's kind of like, you know, if you like eggplant Parmesan and you hate all the breading and the frying and the battering and all that, this is like lazy eggplant Parmesan, but it's really, really good. And I'm all about lazy cooking, if I can get away with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I spent pretty much my entire Labor Day weekend in the kitchen making choke cherry syrup and jelly. Although I had better success with the jelly, I had too much going on in my syrup and it actually solidified. I used a little bit of pectin, and it was too much. So, running out of space. All right, time to squeeze in, guys. Get cozy here. Maybe I just need to rearrange like so. Hi, do you want to go hang out on the deck with me in a minute? I know you do. Yeah. And turn around. They're egg-shaped. Just like an eggplant should be. Okay. They're on there, kinda, in a jumbled fashion, but it'll work. More olive oil, drizzle on the top. So the thing with eggplant, they're like a sponge and they will soak all this up. So it might look like they're gonna dry out, and that's okay. If they do dry out, we'll fix it later, so don't worry about it. A little salt on this side. A little pepper on this side. And then when we flip them, we'll do another drizzle of olive oil and salt and pepper the other side. Okay, my oven's still preheating. I don't care, I'm gonna throw them in anyway. 15 minutes, and then I'll flip them over for another 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how they look. Then we'll like layer it up in a dish with some tomato sauce, some basil, and some mozzarella, and we'll throw it in the oven. Okay, I had to take a break from my coloring because the eggplant's done. So I did 15 minutes on one side, flipped them over, oiled, salt, pepper, put them back in. I only did another 12 minutes and they seem to be cooked through, so I think they're fine that way. If you have a larger size eggplant or you cut them a little thicker, you might want to adjust your time. Just make sure they're cooked most of the way through. You're going to bake it again, so if they're not completely cooked, they should cook when you bake it as like an assembled dish. So what we're going to do now, I've got some chopped up basil, I've got a little bit of fresh mozzarella, not a lot, and I don't need a lot of cheese, just enough to kind of throw in there, add a little cheesy goodness. I've really been digging this fresh mozzarella lately. I grilled some pizza last week and put this and basil and tomato and I think garlic on the pizza, and that was it, and oh, so good. So maybe I'll do a video for some grilled pizza one day. And I have some garlic. I cleaned like, I don't know, 100 heads of garlic this weekend. And that's just the garlic that I harvested from my garden. Most of it, again, did not get harvested, and I'll sort it out in the fall or next spring, probably in the fall. But I'm just mincing it up a little bit. And now it's time to assemble. Fun part. Oh, tomato sauce. So this is my tomato sauce that I made over the weekend, I guess. And I had a whole bunch of Roma tomatoes from last week's CSA share. And I just I quartered them, threw them in a pot, let them cook down, and then I ran them through a food mill to get rid of the seeds and the skins. Sometimes I am not that ambitious, and I will just score an X on the bottom of the tomato, put it in a pot of boiling water for 60 to 90 seconds, and you pull it out, and you should be able to peel the skin off. And then you can cut them into quarters or whatever and throw them in a pot, and then just let them cook down. And you'll have the seeds that way. If that doesn't bug you, then no biggie. If it does, then you'll want to run it through a food mill. So anyway, so this was probably, I don't know, 15, 20 tomatoes worth. Okay, so here's what we're doing. I've got just a 9-inch square pan. I'm gonna put a little tomato sauce in here. Oh, it's like the dreaded ketchup. And spread this around with a little spoon. Spoon. So I did season this tomato sauce a little bit. There's some onion powder, some garlic powder, and I think just a little bit of basil in there. And then I'm just gonna start layering some eggplant. So remember when I said eggplant is like a sponge and it will absorb like the oil and stuff? It's also gonna absorb the tomato sauce. So I'm gonna assemble this, get down there now. And then I'm gonna let it sit for a while, and then I'll bake it later because it's not time to bake it for dinner anyway. I'll wait a little bit, sprinkle some basil, a little bit of garlic, and we'll do more tomato sauce. I'm just gonna keep layering. I'll do mozzarella on this next one. Ooh, I used most of my tomato sauce. Bummer. You can also use, prepared jarred sauce if you want. That is also fine. So let's put some more, just gonna squish them down in here. This is so much easier than breading, frying, battering, whatever. It's lazy eggplant Parmesan, but it's awesome. Oh yeah, this one's really cooked, nice and soft. All right, more basil. Do some mozzarella this time. Just go ahead and use the mozzarella in this middle layer here. More tomato sauce. Just do a little bit of tomato sauce. Save some for the top. Throw some garlic on. There's no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing here, so. And then just tuck the rest of your eggplant in. Wow. And then we'll cover it up with the remainder of the basil, garlic, tomato sauce. You, get in there. Oh, and one little dude. You can go right there. Okay. Garlic and basil. La 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 la. And then I'm also going to chop some basil and put some fresh basil on it when I serve it. So how to serve this? In the past I've done it with fettuccine noodles. That's really good. I don't have any fettuccine. I do have some spaghetti. I have some green spaghetti, which is made with zucchini and parsley and what else is in here? Kale, broccoli, and spinach. So it's pretty good. It has a little bit of a stronger flavor, so I like it just plain, but the hubster doesn't like it just plain, so then we usually mix it with some whole wheat pasta, and he'll eat it that way. So it's not as strong, whatever. So, all right, last in tomato sauce. I think I've gotten just about all that I can. So, call her done. And then cover this with a lid, because I do have a lid for this pan, or a little bit of foil or something. And then just let it sit for, I don't know, an hour, a couple hours. You could do this probably a day ahead if you wanted. And then preheat your oven, take your foil off because everything's cooked here already. All you have to do is heat it through. So at 350, 25, 30 minutes, something like that. You could put more cheese on top if you want it. I don't have it. I don't care. I'm not going to do it anyway. So that's it. So this is where I'm going to leave you. And then I'm also going to serve this. Num num num. Basil and garlic. Yummy. What do we get? Chard today with our CSA share. I have some kale. I'm going to cook those with some onions and some more garlic and probably some herbs. I've got some parsley and basil and stuff. And what else? Oh, squash. Yeah. So I'm going to do that and serve that on the side with the spaghetti and the eggplant Parmesan. So nice veggie meal. So if you have some eggplant laying around and you have all these tomatoes and you don't know what to do with, make some eggplant Parmesan. Yummy stuff. Next week is week number 15. So we have 6 weeks left of the summer share. If you want to sign up for fall share, that's 5 weeks beginning October 23rd. Takes you through the Tuesday of November 20th, I think would be. So it's that Tuesday of Thanksgiving. Okay, till next week. Ciao. All right, hey Belle, let's go finish coloring. Or you can lay here and take a nap. Hold the floor down, whatever.